Welcome back to the Anti-Algorithm Experience, where I can see if I can take this show and make it spread without any hashtag, keywords, thumbnails, or any algorithm nonsense. And today, I want to talk about something that I've personally experienced, which is how playing video games anymore doesn't feel like playing them. And as always, you weren't supposed to find this. Now, as you guys have known, if you're still here, this is the third episode. This is no cuts. This is no editing, no fancy tricks, nothing like that. We're just trying to do an experiment where we can see if we could take this show, or whatever you want to call this, and make it something without having to do all the nonsense that exists right now. So we're talking about video games. One of the things that I did for a while was I streamed on Twitch. I had a decent following. It wasn't too bad. I had a good TikTok account too. Basically streamed every 3 days, played specific games or tried to do the variety thing and all that. And what was crazy is, so I don't even remember. Did I have 300 followers or 500 followers? I can't remember. Maybe it was like 500. I can't remember. But the follower amount that I had and the views that I had put me in like the top 5% or something like that for all of Twitch, which is wild because I think I only averaged it was like 3.5 or 4 people a stream. I think at my peak might have been 5 or 6. And that kind of just shows you how heavy it is, how many 0, 1, and 2 average viewer streams that are out there. So really, to become popular, it's really, really, you have to be really, really lucky. And a lot of those folks that do make it popular do these algorithmic, if that even is a word, not cheats, because there are talented people for sure, but they know how to play the game. They know what sells. They know how to make the crazy looking thumbnails. They know how to, do challenges. They even have a certain cadence that they speak in. There's a couple that I still come across that plays like a Formula One game, and he has a very specific streamer cadence, and I can't handle it. I can't do it. But it works for him. He's super popular. He's got sponsorships and streams and goes places. And so, yeah, it works for him. But I think now for a lot of those people, instead of just playing the game now, they're just more worried about pressing play and, just working essentially. And that's really not what people want to, well, I don't want to say it's not what people want to do, but it makes you lose love for video games. And I found myself with that too. At the end of streams, checking your metrics to make sure, oh man, was this a good one or not? Or, checking your TikTok likes and Instagram likes and comments and all that stuff. And even casual players that don't stream, basically, I feel like they're taught because of Twitch and YouTube and places like that, that every game needs a proof of progress, or how do I stack up against everybody else? So I think and I know for a fact that's a part of my problem. That's why pretty much I play NBA 2K now. Is I want to see how I stack up against other people, which really sucks because you want to get out of that hole, but it's really tough when you've been programmed to think like that. Basically speaking, your fun, how do I say this? Your fun is measured by your success in the game against other people. There's no more I just feel like the single player community is kind of gone, and it's more focused now on just multiplayer games and how you stack up against other people. Now, obviously, when you go live, your mannerisms can change, your everything changes, right? For example, a lot of people exaggerate when something happens on stream. They do that overreacting, like, oh my God, or something like that. So it doesn't feel genuine because I don't know, it just doesn't seem genuine. And you'll find some streamers, they'll purposely get into a sticky situation because they're trying to find a clip. It seems very curtailed. It's a show at the end of the day, right? And for people, it's like a reality show in a way that just is video games, and the games no longer become about the game. It just becomes about the streamer. That's why people watch them. That's not breaking news to anybody, but that's really the reality of streaming video games now. And then it bleeds further into like their lives and stuff like that. So you kind of create this atmosphere, this bubble around people where they're constantly like online, right? They're constantly performing to people. And that really just erodes the person that's genuine. That's why it seems like when the sketches of the world or the quesos of the world start getting popular, it's because they seem so like genuine, because they are. But eventually that's going to go away, and it's not their fault, but because they've become more and more popular and all of that. So it just kind of stinks. Like, and to go back to the chasing like viral clips, this is like pseudo related. I'm going to go on a slight tangent, but there's a whole thing about skill-based matchmaking, and a lot of the streamers hate it because what it does is it puts them in lobbies or games with people that are at the same level as them, not with like a bunch of scrubs, so that they can get their clips, right? So like, for example, in NBA 2K, they're not going to drop you into a game with 4 people that have half the amount of hours as you. So now you know how to do that trick, that behind the back, or that whatever it is to get yourself free. You can't do that because the people going against you know it. So these streamers can't get clips for their highlight shows or whatever it is. So I love skill-based matchmaking because of that, because like, you should go up against people at the same skill level that you are at the end of the day. I get you want an easy game every now and again, but if you're playing a multiplayer game, like the dad that plays for 2 hours a night is going to be chilling with the dads that play for 2 hours a night, and the streamer that plays for 13 hours a day is going to be rating the lobbies with the people that play 13 hours a day. So I think that's fair, Now, like before, I kind of mentioned about like single player games and stuff like that, but people keep talking about the golden days, and they keep talking about 2K. And this isn't a podcast about 2K. This is about games in general. But like, I think it was like NBA 2K11. People kind of like, that's the universal, like that's the best 2K. And that's really before things got crazy with Twitch, right? So there weren't, they didn't have like who's the top rep player and who's the best geolocated player and all that stuff. Like that didn't exist back then. And I think that's why the game is so popular now. There's a couple other things like VC and all that stuff, but basically nowadays you can't have those games because you constantly feel like you're, and this is my opinion obviously, but you feel like you're trying to compare yourself to others that are playing the same game. And basically speaking, you kind of feel like you need to perform because you want to make it like a side hustle almost, right? You want to make something out of it. So you want to be the number one player because you want your name to be on the scoreboard. You want people to recognize you. So there's no more like freedom in your play. And I got to the point where I was playing the games just to make content and not playing the games just to play them. And I would catch myself thinking like, oh, would that make a good post? Or, let me clip that because that could be funny later. And it's just like, I wasn't enjoying kind of what I was doing. I was just more doing it for content purposes. And I really had that talk with myself. I'm like, is this worth it anymore, right? Is it worth my time? I get just a couple hours a night. Is it worth my time to go through and do all this, to edit the clips, to make the TikToks, to stay up to date on trends, to do all this stuff, when in reality, like 99.9% of people aren't going to make it with anything? And you ask yourself, well, am I doing this for fun or am I doing this for that? And when it turns into that, the fun goes away. So there's no point to do it anymore, you know? And I haven't streamed for 6 months now, and I'm not going back. And I'm just enjoying playing my games now. There's no like feeling that I need to, well, I should rephrase that. There is still that feeling that I need to create stuff like while I play video games, but it's gone away more and more as the days go by now. So I'm kind of like training myself out of that, which is great. I'm just more playing games for myself now, which I hope some people find that as well. And that's kind of like what I'm doing here with this show, podcast, whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to see if I can talk and think and just enjoy what I'm doing, which so far I am 3 episodes in, without worrying about if I get a view, if I get a like, if I get a comment or anything like that, because I don't want to play that game anymore. I don't want to play that algorithm game anymore. And if this content's good enough for people, if they get this far in the video, then they'll comment. We'll push it to other people. But I'm not doing any more of that clip stuff, that thumbnail stuff. The only thumbnail in this, when it goes on YouTube, is just a basic, this is what it is. There's no flashiness. It's literally black and white. There's nothing that, it's not pretty colors or arrows pointing at stuff. Like, I want to make this for me. And the experiment is, can we take it and push it into people's algorithms without doing that nonsense, without playing by YouTube's or TikTok's or whatever's playbook of getting popular or getting on people's pages. So, yeah, to sum it all up, I mean, video games now have really just become about creating content and comparing yourself to other people. And there's the fewer and fewer single player people out there that are vibing, and I wish there was more. And yeah, so if you guys want to join along in the experiment, make sure you like, comment on it, share it with some people. But I'm going to keep talking, even if it's into a void, because I enjoy it. So thank you guys. We'll see you next time.